Welcome back to RacingNews.com. Magic and Dr. Miranda here to preview Saturday's feature race at Churchill Downs, the Grade 1 Arlington Million Stakes. Yeah, that's correct. The Arlington Million is at Churchill Downs this year, going 1 1/8 miles on the new turf course that is still a little questionable. But what is not questionable is we've got our resident expert in Kentucky, Dr. Miranda here. Last week, I want to give you props because you got the try and the super home in the Clement Hirsch Stakes, and it paid very nicely. So see if you can keep that going again today.
All right, so starting off with the number 1, we have Set Piece for Brad Cox and Flo. He has raced 21 times in his lifetime, winning almost half of those. Last time out was the Forbidden Apple, where he finished not so great 5th place, but he did get bunched up behind horses and couldn't make his closing move until a little later, and being only a mile, I think it cost him. Like I mentioned, he has a lot of closing speed. So if there is a speed duel between some of these horses, he may have a chance to pick up the pieces. I want to point out, though, that he is 4 for 5 at Churchill Downs, so he clearly loves this track, but the turf course is still not in great shape, so that's something some of you guys may want to take into consideration when betting this race. The number 2 is Sacred Life for Chad Brown and Manny Franco. We last saw him at Monmouth in June, where he won a G3 stakes race. Before that, however, he had not won a race in 5 starts. Before that, it was another 6 starts back before he won a race. He has raced 26 times with 8 wins. So the fact that he just won 2 months ago, if he follows the trend that he's always done, he shouldn't win this race. When he was racing against tougher company at Fairgrounds and Gulfstream in the winter and spring, he was not even coming in the top 3. I think that this company is just a little bit tougher than what he faced at Monmouth. So a huge step up is going to need to happen. And at 7 years old, I just don't really see that happening. He also likes to come from behind like the number 1. And so I said, unless a pace meltdown happens, I don't see him winning this race. So the number 3 is Field Pass from Mike Maker, the first of his 2 horses in here. Honestly, I do not think that this horse is the same horse that he had back in 2020 and 2021. He has some really good wins, but he hasn't won a greatest stake since last November. He's been a few races this summer, but he did win the last race he was in, but it was a disqualification against his stablemate Mega City, who is also in this race. I also do not like that he is 8-1 only. If he was in double-digit odds, I would like him a little bit better, but I just don't think that this Field Pass is in his prime anymore, and I don't think he's going to get slow fractions like he had the last time out. Let's see. The number 4 is Smooth Like Straight, the California turf horse, who has came in the top 3 in 18 out of his 21 career starts. Now, he has been a bridesmaid instead of a bride since May of 21, coming in 2nd or 3rd every single time. I do want to mention, though, all of his races are either G1s or G2s, so he definitely has some back class. He also has a lot of early speed, and there's only one other horse in this race that has that early speed, and that's the horse to his outside. So they're both going to be fighting for the lead. But I think he's a little bit faster, so he should get it unless Mega City just goes all out and causes some kind of pace meltdown. I think that if he gets the lead, I think he can keep it. The question mark for me, though, is can he hold on because he hasn't ran this distance since May of 2021. The number 5 is Mega City, who I am very familiar with. I've seen him a lot at the backside. My friend used to help train him, but he got switched to Mike Maker back in May, and he's gone 2 for 2 since then. He was taken down last time out, like I said before, for drifting out. I don't think Field Pass is going to pass him, but he did get disqualified. Like I said, he has a lot of early speed, so he's going to try and link up a Smooth Like Straight. I've heard that he has been working out great and looks good, so at 15-1, he intrigues me a bit for the underneath plays. I do want to mention, though, that he is getting a new jockey aboard him for the first time in 8 starts, so that's something you guys may want to look at. The number 6 is Satin for Brendan Walsh. He is a lightly raced horse with only having 7 career starts and is only 4 years old. He won the Turf Classic on Derby Day at Churchill Downs. So he's been on the new turf before they stopped racing on it, and they said it wasn't good enough. But surprisingly, it's supposed to be good now after 2 months. Sure, whatever they say. Anyways, last time out, they tried stretching him a bit more, and he went from 2nd to 6th place because he got tired. He also had a last-minute shoe repair, so that could have caused some issues as well. He doesn't need the lead. He likes to stalk, so I imagine him being right behind Smooth Like Straight and Mega City. His workouts have been really good. So I think out of all the horses right now, he is in his prime the most and is ready to go. The number 7 is Admission Office, who I feel like this horse has been around forever, but I guess when you only race 3 times a year, you can last a little bit longer. He came back in June after being off for almost 16 months. He did win the Arlington G3 at Churchill Downs, and that was his first win in almost 2 years, where he won the Louisville G3, also at Churchill Downs. He's 2 for 4 at Churchill, so he clearly seems to like it a little bit. They took him up to Belmont in July, where they tried him at 1.5 miles, which he clearly didn't like because he got 5th place out of 5 horses. He's one of the old men in here, but he does have some talent. It's just a question mark was that June race a fluke, or is he actually in some good form again? The number 8 is Cavalry Charge. He last raced in July at Indiana Grand, where he got 2nd place behind Ivar. Before that, they put him in the Louisville Stakes at Churchill, where he got 9th place. Then before that, he finished behind Satin 2 times in a row. He seems to be working out okay, but I just don't know if this is how good he is, if this is his kind of talent level. I think that he does great in ungraded stakes races, but anytime he's been put in a graded stakes with good talent, it just doesn't seem like he rises up for the occasion. The number 9 is Cellist, who is another 4-year-old in here, but has raced a couple more times than Satin. He won the Louisville Stakes that I was talking about with Cavalry Charge last time out. He is another horse that likes to stalk and stay behind the front runners, but looking at the numbers, I just don't think he's fast enough to keep up. I mean, he has only won 3 races total, and 2 of them have been at Churchill. Looking at those races, however, the competition wasn't the greatest, so nothing really with him intrigues me a bit. So after going through all 9 horses, my top pick is going to be the young colt with Satin. I think that this horse is just on an upward projectile and he's in great form. It was very tough for me to pick him because I also love Smooth Like Straight, who I think is the class of the field. He does have a chance to go gate to wire, but I just think that this younger horse is going to have the upper hand, especially having ran on this turf before they redid everything. So in an exacta box, I'm going to do 6-4, and I'm going to add in the 5 Mega City in case something crazy happens and he can hold on to the lead if he gets it. In a trifecta, I want to add in Admission Office because I just feel like I have to play him here. So I'm going to do a trifecta box with 4, 5, 6, 7. Hopefully these middle positions can really hold on. And lastly, if you want to do a superfecta, I would just add in Set Piece because it's Brad Cox, Florent Giroux at Churchill Downs. Who knows what can happen?
Well, last week was the rare time when you did pick Brad Cox and Florent Giroux in a race, and the horse ended up hitting the board but not winning and helped with the payouts for the Tri-N Super. So Dr. Miranda, once again in her familiar position, taking a shot against Brad and Flo, and we'll find out what happens. Tell everybody where they can find you on Twitter for all your tips and insight.
At Miranda Bungie.
Make sure you go to racingnews.com for free picks for every race, every track across the country. We have free previews for every major stakes race across the nation over at youtube.com/racingdudes. Before you leave, hit a like on this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll see you at the track.